My brother, bless his heart, felt bad about my decade-long crush and decided to drug his best friend and shove him into my bed. I ended up being the cure, and when I woke up, Jake Coldwell, all ice and steel, agreed to marry me, but not long after the wedding, he jetted off to Europe, leaving my daughter and me waiting for 3 long years before he finally came home. I went to the airport to pick him up, and the whole thing went sideways because my kid called him daddy. His girlfriend, Brittany, couldn't handle the betrayal, burst into tears, and ran off right into the path of a drunk driver. Gone just like that. After that, Jake's face was like a granite statue, never a smile to be seen. He stopped traveling, stuck to us like glue day and night, and I thought finally things were looking up. But then on my daughter's 3rd birthday, the house caught fire. My first thought was to save Jake and Lily. He just stood there, eyes flat and cold, and locked the door. If it weren't for you two, Brittany would still be alive. Every day since she died has been hell. I've wanted to take you with me. The flames licked at us, and I finally understood how much Jake hated us. I blinked, and I was back, reliving the day Jake got drugged. He was flushed, eyes glazed, reaching for me, and I shoved him away with every ounce of strength I had and dialed Brittany's number. A ragged groan snapped me back. I looked over at Jake, sweating, the top buttons of his black shirt undone, looking like he was about to lose it. Sonny, come here. His voice was rough, desperate. If this were the first time around, I would have been all over him, checking to see if he was okay, but now I just stumbled backward. Because of this night, Jake and I both got dosed, and well, one thing led to another. He coldly agreed to marry me, then spent years overseas, not giving a damn about me or our daughter. Turns out he was in Europe because Brittany was there, and he was only coming back to tell her it was over. My daughter calling him daddy was the last straw. It caused Brittany to run out in traffic and Jake to blame it all on me. This time I could stop it. If I wasn't the one to help him tonight, Lily and I wouldn't have to suffer the same fate. So I grabbed my phone and dialed Brittany's number. Brittany, get to the Lakeside Hotel, room 32 ASAP. I braced myself against the door, keeping Jake radiating heat on the other side. At the same time, a flush was creeping over my skin too. I remembered what my brother said the first time around when he dosed Jake and pushed me into the room. Sonny, you and Jake are so obviously into each other. It's killing me. I'm just giving you a little nudge. I couldn't believe it. Ethan, you're trying to ruin me. Let me out. He just laughed and shoved me closer to Jake. I spiked your drink too. Enjoy the ride. You'll thank your big bro later. I snorted, right, because Jake wasn't in love with me. Brittany finally showed up, looking pale and frantic. She glared at me, suspicion written all over her face. Sonny, everyone knows you're hung up on Jake. What's this really about? Wasn't he supposed to be out with Ethan tonight? What kind of game are you playing now? Brittany thought it was a trap, but once she saw Jake in that state, she hesitated. I shoved her towards the door. No time for this. Brittany, you and Jake are totally meant to be, and you don't want some random girl taking advantage of him, right? He needs you. Go. My brother must have gotten some seriously potent stuff, because it was doing its work fast. The first time around, Jake had tried to keep it together, but it was too strong. With Brittany here, he wouldn't have to fight it. There was a muffled groan from inside. Jake's face contorted, and Brittany gasped. She flushed, straightened her top, and gave me a look over her shoulder. Good girl for not trying to pull anything. Since I'm here, you can forget about it. Wait, why is your face all red? I shook my head and pushed her inside the moment Jake ripped the strap of Brittany's tank top. I shut my eyes and slammed the door. It wasn't long before things got loud. Every sound felt like a knife twisting in my heart, and I couldn't take it anymore. I turned and ran. The drug was kicking in, and if I hadn't been able to push Jake away the first time, it was because I was losing it. While I still had my wits about me, I stumbled into a fancy club and barged inside. A fresh-faced kid smiled at me. Ma'am, can I help you? I shook my head, trying to clear it. I need to hire an escort. He blinked, then led me to a booth, and went to find someone. I don't know how long I waited, but finally the door opened, and a tall, broad-shouldered man stepped inside, looking like he walked right out of a magazine. His eyes landed on my ripped top, and he froze before he could say anything. I grabbed his neck and kissed him hard. I got drugged. Help me. He stiffened, seemed like he was frowning, trying to pull away. Is it money? I'll pay anything. I pulled a bank card out of my purse and shoved it into his hand, then fumbled with his belt. I thought I heard him say my name. Sonny, don't do this. Too loud. I kissed him again, and he shut up. No wonder these high-end clubs were so popular. The guys were gorgeous, and they played hard to get. Finally, I heard a sigh above me. Since you asked for it, don't say I didn't warn you. Then he flipped us over, and there was no more thinking. When I woke up, the sun wasn't even up. It took me a minute to realize I'd slept with a total stranger, an escort. The guy was still asleep, so I got dressed and slipped out. I walked past the glass windows of the shops on the main street. My top was ripped, and my neck was covered in hickeys. Before my brother was awake, I made it back home and covered the worst of it with concealer. I barely got in the door before a voice said, "Where were you last night?" Jake was leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed, staring at me. He wasn't at the hotel with Brittany. His neck had a few hickeys on it, but his eyes were hard. I looked down, feeling guilty. I thought that after last night, Jake and I were done, and I could move on. Just out. What are you doing back so soon? Jake's new house was being renovated, and he was staying with us. I glanced around. Where's Brittany? Didn't she come back with you? Jake's eyes turned to ice. Sonny, where did you really go last night? Who did this to you? He was talking about the marks on my neck. I pulled my collar higher. Mosquitoes. Jake laughed, a cold, humorless sound. Don't think I don't know. Ethan spiked your drink last night too. What? You and your brother cooked this up together. You didn't get me, so you ran off and slept with some other guy. Sonny, you thought you could trick me by sending Brittany to the hotel and then disappearing. That little game didn't work. I stared. Why was Jake so pissed? I'd done what he wanted. I felt a pang of sadness. So he thought I'd set the whole thing up as some kind of twisted play. His voice cut through my thoughts. As you can see, Brittany and I got together last night. I'm going to marry her, so whatever you're planning, cut it out. I smiled weakly. Okay, I'm sorry about the drugs, but I really don't like you anymore. Jake's eyes snapped to mine, disbelief written on his face. Everyone in our little circle knew how I felt about Jake. I'd turned down dates for years, basically shut myself off from other guys, but now I knew better. I wasn't going to let my daughter be born into that kind of life again. Jake was about to say something when Ethan came bursting in, yelling, "Holy crap, we got a ghost. Who the hell hell is that upstairs? He came closer, pointing at the ceiling. Brittany, when did she move in? Jake shut the door to the guest room and explained calmly, she was tired of the hotel, so I brought her back here. What? Ethan looked at Jake, then at me, a strange expression on his face. You didn't. He squinted at our necks. I took off. Gotta go get some sleep. I slammed the door to my room. It wasn't long before I could hear them arguing. I guess Ethan wanted to know what the hell was going on at lunch. Ethan knocked on my door asking me to eat with them. Guys, I'm not hungry. You can go without me. A few minutes later, I could hear Brittany giggling. I'll go get Sunny. She's been so sweet with us. She's practically the reason Jake and I are here. There was a soft knock. Sunny, it's Brittany. I'm going to take your advice and be nice. Just come have lunch with us. Mom and Dad always taught me to be polite and you had to respect guests, so I reluctantly opened the door. At the table, Jake didn't say a word, but he kept piling food onto Brittany's plate. She was practically drowning in food. Jake, Sunny is right here. After last night she probably doesn't feel so well. She might get jealous. Jake looked up at me, eyes cold. What is there to be jealous of? You are the one that I am going to marry, just like Ethan. She is like a sister to me. I stared at my food, not tasting a thing. Ethan opened his mouth, but he looked away. Brittany got some food on her face and Jake reached out and wiped it off. Jake, I want you to get it for me, but with your mouth. She leaned in and Jake froze, but did it. Brittany turned to look at me, giving me a smug smile. Don't mind us, Sunny. Jake is just very enthusiastic. Since that first night, you are still a small little girl, so maybe it's hard to understand. The meal was torturous. I put my fork down. I'm done eating. Enjoy your meal. Even Ethan could tell something was up. After lunch, he was stomping around the house. You little idiot. How could you let Brittany get away with that? She's as fake as they come. Jake is too dumb to see it, but I do. Them showing you that was for you. I cut him off. Don't say things like that anymore. Ethan looked at me in shock. I smiled. I don't like Jake anymore. Ethan, please find me a date. Ethan seemed worried that I was joking, but when he realized that I was serious, he was relieved. Good girl. Come on. I have some hot leads. Jake is a great guy, but a lot of guys are better if you give them a chance. I will find someone even hotter than you. I mumbled.